Eclectic.com.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Hans from the Eclectic Podcast, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Toy House Factory THF SonicWave with combinations. This is THF-01. This is obviously a KO of SoundWave. He does include all of his cassettes, plus Rat Bat, which is a nice plus. I got this guy from TF Direct, and it was something I was really excited about. I already have the Masterpiece version of this. But I really kind of wanted something that I could kind of mess around with a little bit more. I don't like to play around with the Masterpieces so much, so this is, I thought, a good option, and it gives you all the cassette options that you could want. Real quick, we'll take a look at the packaging. So on the front there we have a nice art representation of SoundWave with all of his cassettes, and I mean, it's an interesting art style. They're not trying to rip off anybody from it. I mean, the figure itself is a rip off, but the art style is one of its own. So real quick, let's take a look at the side of the box. There's the side of the box. Just got some art images of, looks like a Rat Bat, Rumble, and Ravage. Opposite side we have Frenzy, Laserbeak, and Buzzsaw. Back of the package, not a whole lot there, just some more nice artwork. Real quick, let you take a look at the bio that they have listed on there. You can pause that if you want to read it. Product is rated for ages 6 and up. Top has just got some, almost some beige kind of artwork for SoundWave's face up at the top. Let's go ahead and open this guy up and take a look at what's inside. Alright, so here he is out of the package, and he actually comes with one more cassette than even the Hasbro release did here in the States. We still have that little Sonic Blaster, Megatron's gun, the grid for his chest, Energon Cube, 6 cassettes, and then the accessories for Rumble and Frenzy. So real quick, we'll go through all the accessories one by one, and we'll take a look at the cassettes in their bot modes and in their alt modes. So like I said, one of the cool things about this KO is that it actually does include all the cassettes, plus it includes Rat Bat. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at these one by one as well. First up will be Rat Bat. They all come with their nice little pink cases. I would actually kind of prefer the Energon Cube come in this kind of translucent pink and then just have the tape cases clear, but it is what it is. Paint job looks fairly good. Not seeing anything major with it. Let's go ahead and get these wings unfolded. Kind of transition these around, pull down those rockets, same thing on this side, flip that around, pull down those rockets, get in there, grab his head, spread those wings out all the way, fold that down, put up his little arm pieces there, and there we go. That's Rat Bat. Painting Rat Bat's eyes. It's pretty clean, looks pretty good. Pretty good articulation. Paint held up fairly well. Don't feel any looseness in any of the joints or anything like that. All in all, I mean, that looks pretty good. I think they did a great job with this KO so far. So put him off to the side. We'll take Ravage. Looks okay. Snout is sticking out there. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's get this guy transformed. one thing that I really liked about the cassettes originally when they came out is I was very impressed with the amount of articulation they were able to get with these guys. Considering how small they were, I remember having these as a kid and they were just atrocious with their articulation or lack thereof. Fold down those legs there. Get his paw out. Make sure I flip out his tail here. Get the snout. Make sure and flip out the nose, which that does have a sprue mark on it on the end there. So on this guy, he folds okay. This leg is really floppy on the back. Not a lot of tension there. This one, on the other hand, has got quite a bit of tension. Nice friction joint in there. Fine on that one. This one pretty much the same. Head moves up and down. Paint in the eyes looks alright. That's really, I mean, about it, other than what we have back here on the missile or the thrusters. So that works fairly well. Alright, buzzsaw here. Yellow's always a tough bird. That's a horrible pun. But from the front here, that paint job looks pretty crisp. Not seeing anything major. Couple scuff marks here and there, maybe not quite as clean as what people may want it to be, but that doesn't look too bad. Let's go ahead and get this guy transformed. Start with the legs. And go ahead and flip his thrusters onto his back here. Actually, we can't go too far with those because we got to get the head out. Get his head out there. Those down. Same thing with this side. Flip out that wing. There we go. Now he's all kind of transformed the way he should be. We can see if we can get Just a little camera piece there. Zoom in on that. They didn't give us a whole lot in the way of detail on that camera. Yellow in the eyes looks pretty good. Paint looks alright. They're not super stiff, but they do have good tension in them. Even the yellow could have used a little bit more paint, I think, on the eyes maybe, but I think that looks pretty good. Not too shabby. Alright, let's move on to Laserbeak here. Same thing, kind of looking at the cassette. All the paint detail looks pretty good. Probably could use a little bit more red down on the bottom side there. Same deal with this guy's buzzsaw. I mean, pretty solid. They obviously don't have their little Decepticon logos on the wings or anything like that. But I do think that's a pretty good representation of him. Again, we do have the camera there, which we'll see if we can get that out. Yeah, still has the camera. Not a whole lot in the way of detail on that. Paint job on his eyes looks pretty good. Paint lines, again, I'm actually really impressed with the paint quality on the cassettes. It's not too bad. Nice job. Alright, let's move on to Rumble here. I know, whatever, they're misnamed, what have you. Again, paint quality on the cassette looks pretty good. Chrome on the back looks nice. Extend that torso. Flip out the feet. Actually, I gotta rotate that all the way around because that's the back. Flip out his hands. We already extended his torso. Same thing on this side. Let's see if I can get this hand out. There we go. Jeez, a Pete. Paint on the head looks pretty good. Like I said, the chrome looks alright. Paint down in the shin area looks good. All in all, that actually looks pretty nice. This leg kind of holds tension, but it's a little bit floppy. I don't know, that could be a little bit better. Before we move into the accessories on these guys, let's go ahead and let's get the other one transformed and take a look at him. Paint again looks pretty good on the cassette. Nice gold chrome on the back there. Let's get a closer look at Frenzy here. A little bit of scuff mark on that gold chrome. I don't know if I noticed that before. I don't think I did. Nice job on the paint. Looks like we got some overspray on the inside of that ball joint down there from the silver on the foot. This guy's nice and tight. His joints are really nice and solid. Like, I don't have to worry about him falling over, I don't think. We'll see. Paint quality on the pistons looks pretty good. You can see the nice blue and kind of that deep purple on there. Looks pretty nice. The individual pistons as they extend out, if I can get it to come out, try it on this side. Looks pretty good too. I'm not seeing any major issues there. So it looks good. Same thing with Frenzies here. Oh, there's a black mark. But for the most part, I mean, the lines are really sharp, so those look really nice. Starting off with Rumble's accessories here. Gun looks pretty good. Nice silver paint all the way around. Again, nice silver paint. Rotate that around. Holds that gun fine. Let's take a look at this one. Flip that around. Holds his guns fine, no problem. See how they plug into the back here. Guns plug into his back just fine. Alright, Frenzy's first gun here. Silver looks pretty well applied. Not seeing any major issues. Let's try and plug one of these in to his hand. No problem there, and no problem there. Plugs into the back just fine. Let's try and get his pistons in place here. So, I mean, the rumble piston feature is not perfect on these guys, but I think it works fairly well. I mean, that's what they're known for, right? But it's just, they plug in, they just don't stay super secure. But I've even seen issues with that with the other ones. So I think overall the cassettes, paint job wise and everything, articulation, I'd say except for the exception of Ravage, his joints are kind of loose, and maybe with Rumble's legs it could have been a little bit better. But that's nothing like with Rumble. I mean, you could probably get some floor polish or something like that and kind of tighten that up. But those guys look pretty good. Alright, so first up we have Megatron's pistol. It is made out of die cast, so the stock is removable. Scope can come off, and the extended barrel can come off. And it still has the extended feature down here, so that way it's easier for the figures to actually grab it. And that is plastic down on that bottom part. So he holds Megatron's pistol form fine. However, the joint is almost too weak to keep it up. So it just flops. We also have his little audio blaster thing. I think it plugs into his fist. Open up the fist. Close that in. Claps that back up. And that should just plug right in. So that works. No problem. We also have his other battery, which also doubles as a gun. So just extend that out there. this bottom side, grip this, fold that out. Extend that out. Chrome is actually pretty nicely applied. To that there. So that looks good. See how he holds that. Of course, it has the little peg here to plug it in. Plugs into his arm just fine. Energon Cube, plain clear plastic, opens up on the back, plugs onto that grid chest piece okay. Let's see how it plugs into the figure here. And it plugs into him just fine. Of course, we have the grid piece, which you just saw that the Energon Cube plugs into his chest fine. The only thing on his chest that's missing is the Decepticon logo, but we'll go into that. Now here we are onto the big guy. Let's go ahead and let's take a closer look at some of his paint. So taking a look at the head sculpt, looks like, for the most part, pretty clean. Looks like we got a little bit of silver that oversprayed on the eye there. The black on the inside of the guards on his face look pretty good. The yellow on the chest looks okay. Probably could have used to be a little bit darker down in this section right in here, or at least another application. Looking at the arms here, the black looks really good along with the red paint and the silver. Opposite arm, same kind of deal. The red line on the panel on the arms looks good. Same thing on the opposite side. Got a bit of a scratch right there in the silver. Chrome looks good on the play buttons. Moving further down, the yellow right there looks pretty good. Pretty good. Silver again looks really nicely applied on the legs. Yellow on the opposite side, kind of the same deal. Inside of the legs, panel work there looks good. Same thing on this side. The door compartment's still open. Bottom of the feet, the die cast looks pretty well painted. Same thing on the opposite side. Going up the back here. Chrome work looks pretty good in there. No real other paint details until we get up into this back section. Silver paint back up there in the back panel section. Looks very nice. Well applied, all within the lines. Looking at the figure, I think they did a pretty good job overall of replicating SoundWave. The paintwork is fine. Let's take a look at the articulation. I don't expect it to be really any different than what the original SoundWave had. So looking at the head sculpt here, you can look up, left, right. No side-to-side motion. Of course, the cannon can articulate up and down. Looking at the arms, got a full 360. Go all the way up. You got another kind of a bend there. Double bend at the elbow. Bicep swivel. Wrist swivel. Hands can open and close. Thumb does not articulate. You got another joint for this one index finger here. It's on its own. Same on the opposite side. Waist swivel. heavy ratchets in the front and the leg. Thighs will get you out to there. I'd only go back about that far before it starts to get hindered. It's not a whole lot on the back. You've got knee joint, get you a little bit above 90 degrees. Thigh swivel on the feet. Same kind of thing. I mean, it's the same as what we've got with the regular SoundWave. Die cast down here gives you all kinds of articulation. I mean, if you go too far there, it destroys the sculpt, so you lose some of that there. The blue plastic actually has little specks of metallic flake in there, which gives it kind of a really nice color. I know another issue the KOs have been being able to peg Laserbeak and the like on his arms. So let's take a look at that real quick. We'll take Laserbeak here. So Laserbeak will peg on right there just fine. Let's take Buzzsaw, try him on the shoulder area. And we'll try Ratbat on the other arm here. So that actually works pretty well. You can have SoundWave doing his own Ace Ventura impersonation with his menagerie of animals. So those all plug in fine on him. I will say this, I did try cassettes. I do not recommend trying to put the cassettes in his chest. They will not work, they don't eject out easily, so I don't recommend that. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get him transformed. Take his battery cannon, just rotate that around to the back. Go ahead and open up this section here. Flip his head down, close that back up. Take his arms, open up this compartment, make sure the fists are square, roll that in, close that back up. On the back panel here, open these up here. We'll take his other cannon, or his other battery. Open that up. Rotate those butterfly joints back. Just set them free. Got that part done, then we can start with the legs. Rotate that. Bring it up. Push that button, collapse it in. Make sure we untab all this here. Open that up. On the foot section here, on the inside of the toe there's a divot, and then inside of here there's a divot that'll accept that. Let's just make sure that's all plugs in nice and neat. Same thing on this side. We can go ahead and move these up. So we have a tab here and a slot inside of here. Just make sure those all line up. Lift this up, flip these out, fold this down. Same thing on this side. Lift that up, fold that down. Slide that up into place like that. Then we want to go ahead, rotate this all the way around to fill in this gap here. Same thing on the opposite side. Just fold, fold, fold. Make sure that gets all the way across to bridge that gap. Fills that all in nice and neat. Now the other cool thing that this guy comes with that doesn't come with the original release is it comes with this little butt piece thing. And it's got two pegs. And if we look on the back, we've got a hole here and a hole there. You plug that in the back, and you can use this, like you can keep this in transformation. You can keep it there, but it kind of gets fiddly and it'll come off pretty easy. but that helps kind of clean up that back area. It covers up a lot of that big gappage that you had. And yeah, so there he is. All in all, I mean, it looks pretty good. They did a pretty good job. Volume knob doesn't really move. Neither does this slider here. You can kind of get it to move a little bit, but not much, I don't think. You know, all your buttons there are still kind of highlighted. Your eject, like I said, it still works, sort of. Not the best. And this action in here, you can still push that back and get your 1-click, 2-click. But I don't recommend putting a cassette in there. In closing, I think all in all, for the money, I think it's well worth the purchase, especially if you don't have the Hasbro SoundWave. I think it's a good deal to get you all the cassettes. And even if not, even if you just want one to put in alt mode, or if you want one to just display in bot mode and keep the other one in alt mode, I think this is a great deal. The price is not too bad. I want to say it was like $89.99. And you get all these cassettes with it. The cassette quality I'm very impressed with for the most part. I mean, there's a few issues here and there, but really for the money, it's not bad at all. Paint's great. Joint quality within SoundWave himself is fine. The only real complaint I have is with the cassette mechanism not working, but I can't expect it to work with KOs the same way it does with regular ones. But, I mean, just the bang for the buck, I think this is well worth the dollar value. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Peace out, and we will talk to you soon. Bye. What makes this podcast unique?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan, 130 the Eclectic Podcast, just coming at you right now, letting you know we'll be on into YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, come on back now. Be the third subscriber. You get absolutely nothing. Thank you so much. And please listen to the Eclectic Podcast because we are amazeballs.